Okay. Love you.
Welcome to Beyond the Voices, a podcast where impactful conversations spark change, amplify unheard stories, and inspire actions. Here, we give voices to the change makers, the dreamers, the doers, and those who are shaping a better world. Whether it's innovation, advocacy, or personal journeys, every voice matters. Each week, we bring you compelling stories, deep insights, and transformative ideas from thought leaders, activists, and everyday heroes from around the globe. From untold stories of resilience or stories of groundbreaking perspectives, Beyond the Voices is your destination for meaningful conversations that leave a lasting impact. If you're ready to be inspired, challenged, and moved, this podcast is for you. Beyond the Voices, where impact meets inspiration.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another empowering episode of Speak with Purpose, the podcast that gives you transformation, empowerment, and influence. I'm your host, Andrea Adams, and I am a co founder of Voice Masters Global. Today, I have the absolute pleasure of speaking with an extraordinary woman who has embraced her voice, refined her message, and is now using her story to empower others. Please welcome to our podcast this evening, Joan Powell-Barnes, a woman of strength, resilience, and purpose. Joan is a proud graduate of the Voice Masters, Mastering the Art of Speaking and Writing for Impact course. And she's here to share her growth, her purpose, and her voice. Joan, welcome to the podcast, and just let's dive right in.
Thank
Can you
you for
just share
having
with
me.
us? You're quite welcome. Can you just share with us a little bit about you?
Okay, so I am Joan Powell-Barnes. I am a full-time employee at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education. I am a lecturer in the Faculty of Education and Management. I love teaching. I love creating an impact. I love to inspire my students. I am a proud graduate of the University of Technology, Jamaica, where I obtained a bachelor's degree in business administration, management, and finance. I am also a proud graduate from the University of the West Indies, where I obtained a master's degree in human resource management. CASE also is my alma mater because I did my associate degree at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, and I also obtained my teaching diploma at that same institution. I
Oh,
am
wow.
married. I am married. I am a wife. I am a mother. I have two children. So I am also a firm believer in God. So yes, I am a Christian and I have great faith in the Lord.
Wow, Joan, just as I introduced you, you are definitely a powerhouse. And we at Voice Masters, we are so honored and definitely privileged to just have you here with us in our presence and on our platform. Now, I just want you to take us back because I think that being able to move forward, it's important for us to just take a moment and just look back. Take us back to the moment when you first realized that your voice mattered.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Now, I grew up, I am from a humble beginning. I grew up in a small community by the name of Bangeridge. And I was always this child that believe in fairness. I like to see when people are treated fairly. So I am always advocating for people, my siblings, my friends, just about anyone who would need someone, to speak up for them. So even though naturally I am a reserved person, but when it comes on, for as it relates to fairness and having people being treated fairly, I am always advocating for people in that regards.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. What comes to mind when I hear you speak is the term speaking for impact. What does that term mean to you personally?
Personally, for me, speaking for impact means to use my voice to inspire hope into the lives of those who might feel hopeless. There are times when people are going through various challenges and they may just need someone, someone to tell them something positive. So speaking for impact means for me that I try as best as possible to speak, to inspire hope into those who might feel hopeless, to motivate and to transform lives, as well as to create change. So our voice is very powerful, and there is so much that we can do with our voices.
Wow, you are so amazing. And I thank you again for just taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our podcast. I know that guests will get so much information, so much knowledge from you. Now, moving on a little bit, can you share with us like a moment when your words might have impacted someone or changed their life, one of your own personal experiences?
Okay, so a moment when my words may have created an impact. So I have a very powerful story. As I said before, I am from humble beginning. I am coming from a community where there wasn't a lot of support per se as it relates to encouragement, etc., for people to strive for greatness and so on. And as a result of that, I used to have to ensure that I find or found that inner strength to try and push myself forward. So, based on my own experiences and the challenges that I encounter, I ensure that I share my story. Even with my students on a daily basis, some of these students are coming from similar background, and they may feel hopeless or believe that, there is no one there in their corner. So I usually use my own story and my own experiences to ensure that I encourage my students, use my life as an example to say, look here, I've been through some of these similar challenges. And as a result of that, right, you can do it as well.
Oh, that's quite powerful. I love that you mentioned that you work with students. That is something that I do myself, and it's one of the most fulfilling things to be able to work with the young
Yes.
people, to be able to impact lives. So we're just going to go a little bit dive into your journey with Voice Masters. You took that step and you signed up for our program, Mastering the Arts of Speaking and Writing for Impact. And guess what? We saw you blossom. You said that you are shy. I don't believe that you're shy at all. So I want to ask you some questions as it relates to Voice Masters program. What actually led you to enroll into our program?
Okay. So as I said before, I am a very reserved person. So usually I would shy away from any public speaking opportunities. I know that that is somewhat a weak area for me, and I acknowledge it for what it is, and I wanted to improve on that. So I ended up having an encounter with Mrs. Clark Kura through work. Um, as I invited her as a presenter at a work experience seminar that we were having at CASE. So when she came and she presented, then I get to find out that, she has this Vice Master's program running. And I said, okay, because I was always researching and looking to see if I could find a program that would suit me, right, to improve on my own public speaking. So by meeting Mrs. Clarkura, I was introduced to the program immediately. It was a no-brainer. I decided that, look here, I have to become a member of this program to ensure that I improve on my public speaking. And so I did.
Well, we're just grateful that you did so. And I personally enjoyed working along with you and helping you on that journey. Now, before you actually took that step to sign up for our program, just share with the audience what was your biggest fear or maybe your hesitation before you decided to do this, and how were you able to address it and to overcome it?
Okay. So my biggest fear, so I have no issues teaching my students and interacting with my students. I love that, right? And people would say, but if you have no issue teaching your students and having that interaction, then why is it that you are having a challenge as it relates to go in front of a bigger audience, right, to speak? Now, I have a fear where that is concerned. And, as a result of that, I decided that I needed to overcome this. As I said before, there are opportunities that would have presented itself, things that I could have capitalized on. And because of my fear of public speaking, then I always stay in the back and decide that, I am not going to push forward. So through the Voice Masters program, I was able to confront that fear, right? I developed more confidence, right? And now, if an opportunity presents itself, I will definitely capitalize on it.
Wow, I'm happy to hear that because that's exactly what we're here to do, to help you understand that public speaking is something that anyone can do. Now, I want you to share with the audience one memorable moment or breakthrough that you experienced during the training, during the classes. With what stood out and what was your aha moment?
All right. So one of my most memorable moments throughout the program was that day when you asked us, each of us, to, tell our story. And Monique told her story. I was so captivated by her story, the things that she went through, the strength that she developed, the way how she's using her story to help others. I was so impacted by it. And as a result of that, it kind of propelled me or even encouraged me, to share my story, because we never know, people who are out there who are going through, various challenges. And just by sharing our story, then we can change lives.
Mhm. Well, I'm so happy to hear that. And because really and truly, that is the core thing that's where my passion is in being able to pass on the gift of communication, of being a great speaker to others. Now, can you
Right.
share with us, ever since completing the program and measuring it from before you did the program, can you just share with us in which ways you believe that you've grown as a speaker?
Okay, so I have grown. As I said before, I am more confident in myself to go out there and to stand before an audience that I don't know and to present myself or to tell my story. Since I have completed the program, an opportunity came up for us to do a presentation to a wide audience at a teachers college conference. A number of people would have been there, principals, education officers, principals from various teachers colleges, education officers, etc., right? And different colleagues. And we were able, I pretty much asked one of my colleagues if she would have been interested in making that presentation, and we collaborated. And it was such an impact. I mean, after we presented, we have so many people coming to ask us questions, and they wanted more information, and they were just so impressed with us presenting. So through the program, the Vice Masters program, as I said before, I developed more confidence. And as a result of that, I am now approaching things differently, and I am taking on more opportunities.
Wow, you said you're approaching things differently. That's just up the alley of the next question that I have in mind. Because now that your voice is stronger and you've been through our training and your message is more refined, you've definitely become a light to others based on what you've just shared with us. Now, how do you plan to continue showing up and continue inspiring others, especially in cases when you don't feel like you're ready?
Okay, so how I plan to continue to show up. All right, as presenters or speakers, there are times when we are not going to feel as if we are up to it for whatever the reason. And there are times when fear will still come back into play, right? But as I said before, now I started to look at the bigger picture and to see how I can use my voice to make a difference in society, not just in my classroom, right? So putting myself aside some of the time and to look at the bigger picture to see how I can inspire hope to many other individuals outside of my classroom space.
Amazing, amazing. So if someone came to you and they say, Joan, I'm afraid to speak, what would you say to them?
All right. So I would say to this individual that, fear is inevitable. We all feel it at some point in time, but we should not allow our fear to cripple us, cripple our dreams, right? We don't just want to dream, but we want to make our dreams a reality. And we need to start looking at how we can use our voice to help someone else. So, yes, you may be fearful. And then, as I said before, enroll in a program that will assist you to manage that fear or give you strategies, key strategies, and, techniques as to how you can become more confident and to overcome that fear.
Wow, well said, Joan. What's next for you? Like now that you are a master at public speaking, what's next for you? Do you plan to maybe write a book, maybe coach others? What are your plans?
Absolutely. So firstly, I intend to pursue more speaking opportunities, whether locally or internationally. In addition to that, I think my entire life is a story in itself, and it is something that people should be aware of. And I have always wanted to write a book, right? So I have intention of pursuing that. Right. So whichever speaking opportunities present itself, I intend to also start that book, as well as if the opportunity for coaching presents itself, then sure, I will take on that opportunity as well.
Amazing. Wow. Now we're just about to wrap up, and I don't want to keep you because I know you got to go get that dinner ready, etc. So do I. But if someone is listening right now, whenever it is they're listening to our voices, and they're wondering about Voice Masters, this platform, they're wondering if Voice Masters Global is right for them, what would you tell them?
The Vice Masters program is the best place for any individual who want to develop their voice, develop their speaking techniques, You don't want to tell your story and you think you don't have the techniques that are required or the confidence that you need. The Voice Masters program is that program that will help you to, improve on those skills and to help you to become the speaker that you would want to be. The world needs hope. Our children, they need to hear more people echoing that message of hope. And as a result of that, even as an educator, right, we want to ensure that we, propel that cause and have people speaking about their story, where we are coming from, the things that we probably would have gone through, and how these challenges that we faced as individuals can assist someone else to become that person that they want to be. The Voice Master program is where you can go. The trainers will assist you in developing, your voices and to help you to tell your story and to create an impact.
Wow, Joan, thank you so much. That is quite a testimony for us. And it's quite fulfilling to hear because it's part of my mantra to be able to help others to find their voice, their power
Yes.
voice. Thank you
Yes.
so much for being here.
Thank
Now,
you very much for having me.
you're most welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Joan Powell-Barnes, a woman of strength, resilience, and purpose. Proud graduate of Voice Masters, mastering the art of speaking and writing for impact training. She shared with us her growth, her purpose, her voice, and all she was able to gain from going through that wonderful program. I'm your host, Andrea Adams, and I am a co founder of Voice Masters Global. Today, it was my absolute pleasure to speak with Joan.